were the ones. What if I told you that negative relationships are draining you and they're the main reason you're not going after your dreams? What's up, it's Gene. This word to be great. We all have to deal with negative relationships, but I want to talk to you about 3 ways you can avoid negative relationships in your life. Number 1, don't shrink. Now, the reason I'm saying this because negative relationships are attached to you because when somebody come around you that's negative, instead of you talking about your values, instead of you going after your dream, you shrink and you allow those individuals to attach to you. I remember I was in college, right? And I was playing college basketball and we used to do all these workouts. And I remember one day, one of my teammates came to me and said, Gene, you are working too hard. If you keep working so hard, the coach is going to have us to do more. You see, what that teammate wanted me to do, he wanted me to shrink for his comfort. And I almost did that. But instead, I told myself, Gene, keep working hard. Keep pushing yourself. Do not give mediocre effort because it's going to allow somebody else to be comfortable. See, that's the same thing in our life. When you have negative people that come around you and you have dreams, you have goals, and they start talking about those dreams, they start talking about those goals, what they're trying to get you to do is to shrink down to their level. They don't want you to work hard for your dreams because their dreams have died or they don't have the courage to go after their dream. So if you want to avoid negative relationships in your life, instead of you shrinking for their comfort, which is going to cause them to attach to you, you have to make up your mind you're going to keep going hard, and that will cause them to get away from you. 2, don't disregard your principles for their acceptance. I remember I was laid off in 2010. It was like 7 months before I could get a job. And one day I was at LA Fitness playing basketball and I met this guy who called himself Hollywood. And this guy was like, hey man, what do you do for a living? I said, right now I'm laid off. He looked at me and said, oh, you one of them. I said, what do you mean by that? You're one of those individuals that's laid off looking for a job. You ain't got no money in your pocket, right? I said, well, I have a little bit of money, but I am looking for a job. I said, do you know of any opportunities? He said, hey man, when we done playing basketball, I want you to meet me in the parking lot and I want to talk to you about an opportunity. So when everything was over, he got out there earlier before me. And when I walked into the parking lot, I was looking around. This guy drove up in this brand new BMW. He rolled his window down. He said, hey, you ready to talk about that opportunity? So we started having a conversation and he started talking to me about selling drugs. He was telling me that people call him Hollywood because he makes Hollywood money even though he's not an actor. So I had to make a decision in my mind. Am I going to disregard my principles? Am I going to tell myself I'm going to sell drugs even though that's against my beliefs? I'm going to sell drugs just to put money in my pocket. But instead of me lowering my principles, I look Hollywood in the face and I say, I'm not selling them drugs. I'd rather apply for a job because I'm not going to do anything that's going to get your acceptance. I'm not going to do anything that's going to get me locked up. And see, a lot of you guys out there, you have these negative relationships because you're disregarding your principles to please others. But if you want to keep those people out your life, you have to stand on your principles, even though when you feel pressured, even when people don't like you, because standing on your principles will help you to avoid those relationships attaching to you. Word one, I know it's very difficult to keep negative relationships out of your life, and it's something we're all going to have to battle. And I know I'm sharing some great things in this video, but if you want to go more in depth on how you can develop the mindset and the discipline to not just keep negative relationships out of your life, but keep yourself going hard for your dreams, I want to encourage you to get my premium ebook, Word to be Great. This book has the tools that will help you to master your own emotions, to master your own self-discipline so you can build the confidence necessary to fight those negative relationships out of your life. So click the link below and get the premium ebook today. 3, don't adopt their limiting beliefs. You see, negative people, they want you to align with them. When they have negative limiting beliefs about themselves and they see you somebody that's ambitious, you're a go-getter, what they want to do to attach to you is to get you to adopt their limited beliefs. You see, when I was in the corporate world, one day I was talking to one of my coworkers and I told her that I had a dream to start my own business. I want to be an author. And she looked at me and she said, Gene, why do you want to do that? That's stressful. I had a sister that did exactly what you was doing and they killed her. She went bankrupt. She never ever fully reached her full potential. She said, Gene, if you want to play it safe in life, I want to encourage you to stay at this job. You have great benefits and retire from here. See, I was an individual that had dreams. I had goals and I had to make a decision. Am I going to adopt this negative person limited beliefs or am I going to have my own beliefs and go after my dream? And what I decided to do is to have my beliefs, to believe in myself, to have faith in God, to have faith I can make things happen. And because of that, today I'm living my dream. See, you may have negative people that's coming in your life, and you allow them to attach to you because you're adopting their limiting beliefs. But if you want those people to stay out of your life, you have to tell yourself that you're going to go with your beliefs. You're going to go with your dreams. You're going to believe in yourself, and you're not going to adopt their limiting beliefs. And because you refuse to do so, it will help you to avoid having these negative relationships in your life. These are the 3 ways you can avoid negative relationships. And I want to encourage you to adopt them in your life, because if you're trying to go after a goal or dream, one of the biggest killer of those dreams is negative relationships. So keep these relationships out of your life. Go after your dreams. Reach your full potential, because you are worthy to be great. If you like this video, I want to ask you to like and share this video. Also, hit that bell so anytime I post a new video, you're notified. And I also want to ask you to join my Word to Be Great newsletter. This newsletter is designed to help you build your self-worth, your self-confidence, and your self-discipline so you can achieve your dreams. So click the link below and join my newsletter today.